In this video, I'm gonna get all 28 achievements in the newest Doom game that is just released last week, so let's get into it. The opening cutscene shows demons deciding to attack a village, killing all the inhabitants. I feel sorry for my man here. The demon army is searching for an artifact called the Heart of Agent, but they're having a hard time finding it, and are running out of time before himself shows up. The humans call a distress signal and the Creed ship picks up. He agrees to release the Slayer, and we get a good look at my Doom Daddy. Armed with a shield and a regular shoddy, we are sent into the battlefield. I blitz through the first demon batch, and when I get a good look at the new execution system that replaces glory kills. And I have to say, I'm not a huge fan, as glory kills is what made Doom gruesome and amazing, but I don't hate the chain. Eventually, I got a spike gauntlet, and that is one change that I love, that the melee weapons are actually useful, and Doom Guy feels more powerful than in Doom Eternal. I pick up a new weapon that is a nail gun on steroids, as it shreds through enemies one after another. Eventually, we are introduced to the main villain, and his name is Azarak, a quote-unquote Prince of Hell. Azarak wants the Heart of Agent to become strong enough to rule over Hell as king. Never saw that coming. The bad guy wants quick power to become the ruler of an army. Yeah, I wonder how that's gonna go with Doom Guy and all. At the end of the mission, I get an achievement, but it doesn't show up as the game was a bit buggy, but it'll get fixed later. Speaking of Doom Guy, he is kind of being held prisoner by the godlike entities called Makers. However, his hatred for the demons overpowers the stasis chamber, which might become a problem later on. Anyway, during the second mission, I ripped and teared apart a super soldier for an essence upgrade, to which there are 3 categories: health, armor, and ammo, the basics. I will need to collect every essence upgrade for achievements later on, but for now I get an achievement for my first upgrade. I now get to pilot my very own Jaeger, which is fun until you realize there are only 2 types of attacks: a punch and a slightly stronger punch that is electrified. At least a giant mech minigun was something. I completed the mission in the coolest way by kicking a titan down a giant pit Spartan style, and then jumping from an exploding building onto a moving hover car. This action awards me with an achievement. Gold is a currency that can be found, which allows the Slayer to upgrade his arsenal. And would you have guessed that snagging my first upgrade would award me an achievement? I then take my newly upgraded pulverizer and shred some skulls onto a Vagri champion. This is where the peak performance of shoot it until it dead comes into play, and I pop my hard-earned achievement. The next important story point comes when it is revealed that Doom Guy has a Doom Dragon, which is one of the coolest things ever in a Doom game.
Oh, come on! You gotta admit this is cool!
I shall call this Doom Dragon Wingless, and we will work together to destroy the armies of Hell. Wingless then drops me off at the front door to an ass whooping, but before I enter I grab the last of the shield upgrades, which is an achievement. Anyway, the old king guy takes the amulet that Azarak wants, and he blows up the entire floating city, which was badass. Thanks for the achievement. A couple of missions later, Doom Guy finds the witch from the beginning of the game, and his rage gives him the strength to overpower her magic abilities, but the plot makes Doom Guy get thrown around like a child's toy off the side of the ledge. Then Prince Azarak takes the amulet back. He opens it only to find that it's empty, and he's a little angry at this fact. In his blind rage, he is oblivious to the giant gun that is shoved right up his behind. Doom Guy drops the one-liner that sends shivers down my spine, and all you need to know is to get the hell out of there, which the witch does. Unfortunately, the game crashes right there, so I don't get to see the last bit of the cutscene.
You can't keep getting away with it!
Anyway, the Creed Maker is fully under the influence of Azarak, which that will probably become a problem later. At this point in the game, I was messing around with the attribute sliders. And look how easily I killed this boss. Just like butter, I chopped him in half and earned an achievement. Sprinting my way into the next mission, a single drop of water makes my shield even more powerful, and of course I get an achievement for it. A shocking revelation: the Creed Maker decides to work with Azarak for some reason, and another revelation is the woman with the glowing arm is actually the artifact Azarak is looking for, because she possesses the spirit of some sort of godlike creature. So he decides to kidnap her by taking an entire top half of a building, and then Doomguy is just slightly not fast enough to follow them. It's not like he had a turret or anything that could have shred through that arm. So instead I storm onto an island and pulverize another champion of hell, which pops an achievement. And in the same mission, I acquire all the upgrades for a shield rune. Now for another achievement, I accidentally skipped an important cutscene where I get the big frickin' crossbow. As usual, I get an achievement upon completing the mission, and in the mission after, I put two things together to create a thing. And if you can't tell, this is where the story kinda gets a bit confusing and it loses me, and I have no idea what's going on. So I stick to my guns and make sure to not let any demon pass, because that's all I know how to do. Not long after, I use my favorite weapon to unlock its mastery for an achievement. I then met face to face with a Cthulhu looking ass kaiju. Bottoms up, I guess. Inside the belly of the beast, I grabbed the last upgrade for my melee weapons, which is an achievement. I then explode the beast's heart and imagine dying because a 6'8" man uses a magic crossbow to explode your heart. Couldn't be me. Anyway, I began the climb up this massive temple, and at the top I am ambushed, but it works out because I achieved my second mastery. Doomguy tries to help the girl, but gets stung, which paralyzes him. So Azarak swoops in and disrespects my guy.
And it can be harnessed.
Azarak accesses his newfound power, and in the next mission, we see his true form. Now one question that I have was, what is more permanent than death? Azarak seems to think that it is a prison surrounded by an acid lake. Doomguy discovers that his mind control augmentation can disrupt the force field, so he removes it and falls into the acid lake, which kinda kills him. But Doomguy is too angry to die, so in a flashback, we hear the most famous words, and I know what must be done.
Rip and tear until it is done.
We wake up and retrieve our shotgun, where we see Doom Zombie. I take my undead ass onto the ship that takes people into the afterlife, and I head straight onto a collision course back to the living world. Kratos would be proud. I am awarded an achievement, too angry to die, for my actions. The Doomguy gets revived, and he is back and angrier than ever. And one of the first things I did after being revived was acquiring my last demonic health essence upgrade for an achievement. Soon after, I upgrade my last shield rune, which completes the Berserker achievement. My next mission was to kill the heretic, the Creed Maker. And for this fight, I wasn't holding back. 1000% damage, activate.
I'm worth more to you alive than dead. I can bring you Prince Azarak.
Eventually we see what is underneath his cloak, and he tries one more time to bargain for his life. But the Doom guy isn't having any of it, so he grinds him into pieces and I get an achievement. In the next mission, Doom guy and the old king are inside Jaegers, and we are finally sent into the battlefield. Well, at least I am. King Azarak sends an old one after me, but I turn him into squid rings pretty quickly. Now it's a one-on-one against King Azarak himself, and to make it fair I decided to disable 1000% damage.
How does it feel, Slayer? This is true power.
Somehow, someway, Doomguy gets stabbed, and Wingless jumps in to save him, but it's all in vain as Azarak kills Wingless. First Daisy, and now Wingless. I can't let this slide.
Get over here!
Gimme that. Now you're just a weak, bold-ass man. May Wingless rest in peace. The old guy then gives back the amulet to the god, and now Thera is in control. I earned the Only Thing They Fear Is You achievement for getting revenge for Wingless, and now I take the fight to Azarak's domain. But first I grab the last action figure from my collection, as well as the last ammo essence upgrade for 2 achievements. Now it is time to kill the duo that ripped away the only thing I loved in this world. But I made sure to make them feel the same pain by grinding out another weapon mastery to rub salt into the wound that is their defeat. The witch tries to interfere one last time, but I put her down for good. Now it is only me and the renounced King Azarak. I'm going to enjoy this. The Doom guy leers over the ledge before making Hell even more terrified of his power, and the demons run away. The Slayer now works alone to fight the armies of Hell, keeping them at bay. The game concludes in an epic, amazing way, to which I am awarded an achievement. Jumping straight back into the campaign, I grab the last of the essence upgrades for armor and get 2 achievements for it. Not much later, I grab the last of the codex pages, and I still don't understand one bit of the story. Oh well, I'll just need to binge an entire hour-long documentary on YouTube about it. I then got the achievement for completing all side missions in every level, ending on the Berserker side mission. Now for the last achievement, I needed to get all masteries on every weapon, which gives me the achievement Completionist. Now I am worthy of the power that comes with the golden armor. Thanks so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And if you want to see another one of my videos about a Doom game, you should check out this video where I got every achievement in Doom Eternal.